East Podcast, WATP.
Feminist Frequency is a Peabody award-winning nonprofit dedicated to ending toxicity and abuse in the games industry and gaming spaces at large. Founded in 2009 by Anita Sarkeesian, she challenged harmful media representations and advocated for a more inclusive media landscape. Teb, I need you to translate this. I'm not understanding these words here.
So in 2009, Anita Sarkeesian started this Feminist Frequency thing to try and basically con companies into giving her money to consult on new media, specifically video games. And like it really ushered in this era of diversity, equity, and inclusion we have now, where everything sucks and like everything has to look like a college entry brochure. And then 3 or 4 years ago, she kind of stepped away from it. And then it was revealed that she had like stolen all of the money and they hadn't actually done anything with it. And it had been a huge scam.
That's what nonprofits are. That's what you do. If she did do that, I'd be like, you're doing it wrong. Take the money and run.
That was what she did. And everyone got real fucking upset about it. And as they should, because it was a whole scam. And it's ruined media. And listening to this episode that I listened to, they're analyzing this movie from 1987 as if it came out this year, and they're like, it's kind of problematic, the depictions that are in there. Like, yeah, it came out like 40 years ago. Settle the fuck down.
No, we have to watch everything through 2023's eyes and judge it by that. The thing that you didn't point out, because this podcast is part of this bigger nonprofit, but it's not the nonprofit. So this podcast is more about movie and shows and media. But the other thing that ruined the gaming industry is small tits on the females in the video games. You can no longer have big tits in video games. And I stopped playing it. I'm done. I'm like, all right, well, I'll just go back to Miss Pac-Man.
You're still playing Tomb Raider.
Yeah, if there's no tits, I'll just play Miss Pac-Man. It's the difference.
There is a new Tomb Raider remaster coming out, and they kept the large tits.
What?
Ooh.
Got good news for you. Yeah. They're not pointy anymore. They're more round, but they're still extremely large.
Okay.
There's hope.
Yeah.
So it's interesting that the woman who played Tomb Raider, whatever her name is, Lara Croft, actually had her tits lopped off. Is that because the video game did it? Was she trying to work out a role for the sequel? Am I making any sense?
Angelina Jolie?
Yeah.
Lopped her tits off?
Yeah.
Oh.
You didn't know that?
No.
Tab, am I wrong?
I live in the past where I'm comfortable.
I don't recall her cutting her tits off.
Hold on. Now I got to go to the chat. Am I the crazy one? Don't answer that.
For that reason, or
all right, let me start off with a clip here. It was cancer, Carl. Yeah, whatever. Who cares?
all right, cancer lopped her tits off. Jesus.
Better cancer than Kiwi Chris.
Kill logic. She had cancer. All right. Still, could have kept those boobies somehow, I'm sure. Recreated them or something.
They're in a jar somewhere.
We have the technology.
We
can
yes,
make them bigger,
correct.
juicier.
Thank you. For a second, I just feel like I was the bad guy. Someone think I'm the dick? What's going on right now?
Stop it.
All right. So I said that Kat had Oscar on the show. This is her introducing her special co-host for this episode about the movie Gremlins. That's right. 1984's Gremlins.
Joining me today is actor, comedian, dancer, and celebrity crush Oscar Montoya. He's hosted a bevy of podcasts, including Spanish Aki Presents, The Tri-Gays, Podcast Killed the Video Star, Inside the Disney Vault, and he's a veteran UCB performer and teacher.
Uh-oh.
As an actor, he's starred as Richie on Minx and appeared in several beloved shows and movies, including Dix the Musical, Bless the Hearts, and Star Trek Lower Decks. You can see him in the recurring stage show Bad Drag Race at Dynasty.
Hold on a second. She say Dix the Musical? That's what I heard. Okay.
Yeah, that is what she said.
Right,
Tab was completely unfazed until they said Star Trek Lower Decks. And
Yeah.
then he got real disappointed.
I hadn't heard of any of those things.
Well, is Star Trek Lower Deck a thing?
It's an animated TV show in the style of Rick and Morty.
Yeah.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah.
I bet it sucks.
I bet it does
right.
too. I haven't watched any of it.
You can see him in the recurring stage show Bad Drag Race at Dynasty Typewriter in Los Angeles. Welcome to the show, Oscar.
My God, Kat, hi.
Hi.
Okay. So as soon as she said UCB performer and teacher, that's scary right there. When you want to teach people how to do improv comedy, I already know I do not want to talk to you or hear any conversation you're going to be in with anyone else.
Well, listen to the way he said hello. It sounded like someone was coming in his ass while he was greeting.
Could be.
Now, this woman, Kat, is very insecure. And I have a theory about Kat. I'll talk about it more later with some of these clips. I don't think she had a lot of friends growing up. I don't think she makes friends very easily. And it comes through very obviously here.
You know, we met 100 years ago doing a storytelling show, and and you've never been far from my mind ever since.
I mean, we took a dance class together.
Yeah, I feel like we had one of those moments, and then I've been a really bad friend ever since. But we've had one of those moments of being like, "Oh my God, are we friends?"
Yes, and we still are.
Yes, and I love it.
Kat.
Wow, that's awkward.
That's so bad. Yeah. Remember that time when I thought maybe like we'd exchange numbers maybe or something? Yeah, you could have just asked. It's whatever. Are you this bad at this?
She's like John about her friends.
Yeah. I thought maybe we were friends and then you betrayed me. Well, she didn't say that, obviously.
Yeah, but if you have to ask if we're friends.
Yeah, I thought we were almost friends that one time.
Nope.
Ugh, I don't think so.
Nope, not
anymore.
even close. We were just in proximity for a little while, and then we weren't in proximity, and I really enjoyed that a lot more.
And I never thought, hey, I should find out what Kat's up to. Never once did that ever cross my mind to check that out. I'm going to keep going unless you guys are hearing anything. I know Jerry's here, by the way. Jerry from Binghamton came up for the Isotope show last night. Thank you for being there. And Jerry's hanging out with us here in the studio today. He's done a lot for the WATP and a ton of things. In fact, he gave me this gift. I should point this out now. Our buddy Skinny Chad Zumock, Conspire a Theory, put this together. Carl's Frosted Tips, similar to Frosted Flakes, and a very scary looking me on there saying they're great. Shouldn't that say, oh, they're gray?
They're great.
Oh, God damn it. Got me again.
Yeah, they really got the mouth, really captured the horrifyingness of the mouth in that.
I'll post
Almost. I feel kind of slighted. I told him like what I wanted to see looked like the cereal box. And then I sent the message, thought about it for a second, sent a second message. Fuck the teeth up real nice. And then he made them straight and white.
Oh, so you were actually a consultant on this project. That's you on the other corner here.
Yeah.
So you guys collaborated on this nonsense. Yeah. And then I invited you to my house.
Yes. No one said you were smart, Carl.
Like an idiot.
I'm the fucking sucker here, aren't I? I don't frost my tips, Producer Chris.
Take the hat off.
You pay someone to do it. It's fine.
All right, I forgot where we were.
Who cares?
We were talking about something.
Talking about Gremlins or something?
Yeah, let's talk about, so they're getting to know each other, doing some chit-chat, certain thing that I like to call banter. And they're talking about, I'm sure you're familiar with LARPing, Tab.
Yeah, I've heard of it.
Yeah, you've heard of live action role playing?
Yeah.
I mean, it'd be pretty cool to get into it, I would imagine.
You have to be almost as lame as someone who teaches at UCB to get into it.
Yes, okay. Makes sense.
Live action role playing. Have you ever done it, Kat?
I've never done it. I feel like it's one of those things that people say to me like, oh, it's weird that you don't like pro wrestling because you love drag. You know, like, oh, it's weird that you don't love playing games because you love telling stories. And I feel like it's just one of those things I need to give a chance.
Okay,
what?
First off, what pro wrestling equals drag and games equals stories? Also, she goes, people tell me I would enjoy playing games. You've never played a game? What are you talking about? What do you mean?
No, she doesn't have any friends.
Right.
Most of those games are two plus players. She doesn't even have one friend.
She doesn't have one friend. And you know what? I'm going to prove it right now. If there's anything you want to talk about as far as pro wrestling being like drag, save that for a second, because she explains why she never got into games younger.
I don't know why I've been resistant to it. I think that my sister's like 10 years older than me. Mm-hmm. And so I feel like if we were ever playing a game, I had a little inferiority complex when I was a kid. Like, oh, I'm going to be bad at this, you know? But that's not any way to live. You got to push through.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
that is.
But you still don't play games. Sorry.
Yeah. That sums up Feminist Frequency like in a nutshell. I thought that I'd be bad at video games, so they all needed to change to accommodate me.
Yes. Well, yeah. What's really telling, though, in that story is she goes, my sister's 10 years older than me, so when we'd play games together, I would lose. Why don't you have friends your age to play games with? My sister's 7 years older than me. We didn't play games together. She was too old. She's got other shit going on. And so I played with my friends, and she did whatever the fuck she was up to. I'm not telling. All right? I know she's all nervous right now. Don't tell mom and dad. I won't. Secret safe with me. But how pathetic is that? And to psychoanalyze herself, too, to be like, well, I think the reason why I don't like games, my older sister, but like, get over it. You're an adult.
Well, that would be like when she was, 6 or 7.
Yeah.
Because if the sister's 10 years older, are you 18 and hanging out with your 8-year-old sister? You know, 22 coming back from college, like, hey, 12-year-old sister, you want to play some board games now?
Hey, Connect 4. Is that Connect 4 I see on the table? Get over here, sis. We got to play this right now.
I'm going to kick the shit out of you in this game. Maybe she did. Maybe her sister's also a loser and just used the younger sister as like a self-esteem boost.
Okay. Another good theory. This is a whole family of losers.
Oh, I'm sure.
That makes a lot of sense. All right. So the other thing she said there was, people tell me I would like games because I like stories. What the fuck does that mean? Those are two very different things, right?
Yeah.
Well, I think if she means video games, like there are definitely story-based video games.
Sure.
I don't know if she means that or board games. It's definitely not board games.
Definitely not board games. Definitely not most games. Just video games, I would think. Maybe, well, I guess role-playing. I guess if you're doing Dungeons and Dragons. Maybe
that's what she means, yeah.
Yeah.
Which is, again, slightly less lame than being a LARPer.
Yeah, it's because at least you're hiding in the basement doing it. Yes. But also, I'm going to get beat up for this theory. I don't think Dungeons and Dragons is a game. It's all just nonsense. Someone just makes it up as you fucking go.
It's a
really
giant waste of time.
Yeah, it's not really a game. The guy just goes, I don't know, you want to roll a die or something? What'd you get? All right, well, then you lose. Like, what? Can you tell me what I should get before you just say that? What do I know? I don't know anything. All right. This has got me really pissed off with Oscar because, so he's trying to tell his new friend, Kat, to just go for it. You don't have to be great at games to play games. And he says something here that really pisses me off.
And listen, it's not about like being bad or good. You are inherently good. You bring yourself to the team, right? It's like improv, you know what I mean? There's no like bad or good. It's just like you.
No, there's just bad. There's only bad.
Yes.
None of it's good.
This is an improv teacher saying that there's no such thing as bad improv. I don't think you should be teaching it then. There's a lot of bad improv. Most of it.
97.65% is bad.
Well, because it's bad people. People who get into improv are not people you want to hang out with at any stage of your life.
Yeah, they're there for a reason.
Yeah. They're losers.
Yeah.
They're not funny.
They annoyed everybody else around them. So they formed a gang where they compete with each other to have silly voices and stuff.
You're not Wayne Brady. You're not.
Right.
You're not good at it.
Who's the other guy? Ryan something?
Ryan Stiles.
Yes. He's
Colin
pretty
Mockery.
funny. These guys are all right.
Yeah. Those are the three.
Those
are the three good improv people on the planet.
And even Wayne Brady, I don't know. He sings a little too much for my liking, but
yeah.
All right, this is her explaining that she did the thing that took a lot of courage.
We did meet at your storytelling show where I shared a fan fiction that I wrote about Beverly Hills 90210, and performing it on stage was extremely vulnerable, which I wasn't expecting, but oops.
So vulnerable means embarrassing.
Yeah.
That's what I'm getting.
Yeah. She shared her fan fiction about Beverly Hills 90210.
And she thought it was going to be a slam dunk.
Maybe I should have started with that when I was describing that she's a loser. Holy shit.
Yes. You
We
buried
live
the
in this
headline.
modern world where people just go and bring things that they should really keep privately inside their homes and like it in shame in their little diaries. And then they just like take it out into the world and expose everyone around them to it. And I think that's why we live in like this dystopian hell we live in now.
Yeah.
Well, they want to be celebrated for it. And then when they go on stage and read to a bunch of people that are just there to read their stories on stage, they celebrate them because they want to be celebrated back.
Yeah. It's like open mic night as a comic or as, when you go to like an open mic as a musician and everyone's just there, like play their 2 songs or give their 5 minutes and then fucking get out of there. That's what she walked into with her fan fiction. Jesus.
Well, I blame blogging and vlogging, all these things are supposed to be in a diary. Supposed to be things that you don't share with the rest of the world. They're like, hey, you know what you can do now? Share it with the rest of the world. Thankfully, no one's ever read anyone's blog for the most part. For the most part, it's the same as just keeping a journal. No one knows what the fuck is going on. But for whatever reason, we're encouraging this behavior. Like, go out there and show everybody what you're up to. It's like, no, don't. Hide all of that. It's embarrassing. Be more vulnerable. I guess is my point. All right, so what I found really annoying about this episode is they're talking about Gremlins, a movie we're all familiar with, and she's done zero prep. And she brings it up over and over again that she doesn't know this and she should have looked up that. It's so obnoxious. Of course, she's looking at the Wikipedia page live out here so she can get some information going.
It's one of those
she read
things.
that little.
Go ahead.
She reads that little block at the front, and she's like, "It's 85 minutes." Basically doing a chewed gum.
Yeah.
And she did that for Moonstruck, and I was just like, "I know all this. I know all of these things." Oh, it stars Cher? No fucking way.
Let me just pull up the wiki page. It says, if you could just donate $3, you could help keep Wikipedia. Oh, I'm sorry. That's not the important part. Let me skip down a little bit.
It's one of these things, just reading the Wikipedia, I was like, who said this movie needs to be made? Like, I understand that they were like, we got an interesting idea. I know someone who can make a puppet.
Right, exactly.
But how was Steven Spielberg like, no, I definitely am going to spend time and money on this and have a cameo in the movie?
Yes.
How is that funny?
It's the dumbest
Why are we
take.
laughing?
That's the dumbest take I've ever heard in my life. Gremlins is a huge hit, a huge success. Everyone has seen that movie. It did well in the box office. I believe even critically people enjoyed it, which is surprising because it is all over the fucking place. But everyone loves Gremlins.
It got a sequel.
It got a sequel. It took 6 years, but it got a sequel. And they're talking about making a Gremlins 3 now, which they should. I mean, of all the nonsense they're putting out from Hollywood, why not a Gremlins? I'd watch that. So I love that she goes, and can you believe it? They're sitting around and going, we should probably make this crazy movie, right? Like, well, yeah, they know better than you because it worked out really well.
I mean, crazier movies have been made.
Says, who said this podcast needs to be made? Don't really throw stones, bitch. Like,
yeah, good point. Does this need to be made? Another fun fact about Gremlins is that it came out rated PG, and it's pretty violent. You know, they put things in blenders and microwave ovens and things like that. And so people thought it was like a kid's movie, a family movie. They brought their kids to it. It got pretty crazy. This movie and Temple of Doom are the reasons why they came out with the PG-13 rating. They said, we need something between PG and R because these kids don't like watching these gremlins get stabbed to death by the mom. It's a little bit violent for them.
Yeah, it was billed as being
Gremlins
cute.
Came out after the PG-13 existed.
Well, according to what I write, because I do my research tab.
Carl read the Wikipedia.
I think Red Dawn was the first PG-13 movie.
Yeah, Red Dawn is the first PG movie. It
flex
came
it
out
over
in
here.
August. And so Gremlins was like 2 months earlier.
Boom!
Very good, sir.
All right, so let's talk about the establishing shot because we got to figure out why this movie's problematic. The movie Gremlins.
Yeah.
What is the deal with the Mogwai? What is going on over there?
Well, let's just get into it. We start establishing shot Chinatown.
Yeah.
Hilarious. Oh, man, hilarious.
What are they laughing about? Chinatown is an area in the city. It exists. Does she think it's made up or something to make fun of Chinese people?
It's a magical land.
What does she think that is?
They also do this thing that I hate in movie review podcasts where they just like describe to you spoken word what happens in the movie one scene at a time until you could have just watched the fucking movie. They have like no insight. They offer nothing of any value of what's going on. They're just like, so then he's in Chinatown, and then he gets the Mogwai, and then he takes it home, and then it gets wet, and then the things come out, and then they have to fight the things.
It's worse than
And then the
that,
movie's
Tab.
over.
It's worse than that. They go, and there's 3 rules with these Mogwais. I can't remember what they are. Why are you talking about this movie? Did you even watch it? No, I read the Wikipedia though.
Yeah, that is very Patrick Michael.
It's brutal. It's like, what are you? So the whole point of this is to tell us whether we should enjoy it or not based on the 2023 lens that we're all watching this through.
Oh, yeah, I forgot what the point was.
That's the whole point of this, apparently. But that's not really what they do all that much. on here.
That's what they say in the beginning, is that the point of the podcast is to be critical of the media you enjoy. Well, A, no, I want to be critical of the media I hate. B, it's Gremlins. It's awesome.
Yes.
Leave it alone.
All right. So again, you just need to look these things up before you start podcasting, especially if you're the one who brings it up.
The cast, I mean, I don't know whatever happened to, I should have looked up Zach Galligan.
Yes, that lead. I thought he was fantastic and attractive.
Yeah.
I mean,
Okay. We already knew you were gay. You didn't have to say that.
You had us at hey.
Yeah, right. You said hello, literally. Dude, you got to find you probably should have researched this Birt line. I could not find it. I was looking for it. I wanted to tag it on most of these fucking clips that I have on here. So now they explain really dumb things. I hate when people pick apart movies. Like, I'm fine with picking apart bad plot points. Producer Chris and I were just doing a creep off bonus show yesterday, Santa with Muscles.
Yes, it was amazing.
It's an insane movie. At a certain point, I'm just staring at it like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
I didn't have anything to say. Like,
things got really quiet
Yeah.
as we're marveling.
We're trying to find out if we were in Act 1 still. There's
Yes.
no plot. We don't know what's going on.
So many characters and nothing to follow. It was amazing. So that's Hulk Hogan.
no
by the way.
It's a sign of a good movie. They just keep adding stuff. It's in the third act, and you're like, what about crystals? And
I mean, there was production. I don't know why we're talking about
Well, you're
this.
the one who gave us all the Hulk Hogan stuff, the treasure trove. Have you seen Santa with Muscles?
I watched it last night.
Just celebrating.
So you should really go to the tourism board here in Rochester and be like, yeah, I'm in from out of town. I want to let you know what I did last night. I watched this movie from 1996 starring Hulk Hogan.
Pile of shit movie. That somehow Garrett Morris.
We'll put that in the brochure, sir.
Garrett
Thank
Morris
you.
lost a bet and had to be in it.
Oh, no. Ed Begley Jr.'s in it.
Yeah,
That's fucking nuts.
He deserved to be in it. He's terrible.
Fair enough. I thought he was the best drummer in Spinal Tap. What do I know?
Yeah.
All right, so this is the thing. They're picking apart these stupid plot points that aren't the things you should be picking apart. So apparently, because this boy already had a pet dog, there's no reason for the dad to buy him an additional pet for Christmas.
also, why are you bringing a Mogwai over to a kid who already has a pet?
Right. That is weird. Like, his dog is definitely like his best friend. Like, it doesn't... It's almost strange. I was like, what if the dog and the Mogwai don't get along?
What?
I think the dog is in 2 scenes in the movie.
Also, I want to point out to everyone, no matter how many pets I have, if you can get me a Mogwai, I will take it.
Yes.
Those are fucking cool.
I can't imagine watching this movie and being bogged down with that.
Yeah,
Like,
you already have a dog. Pay attention to the dog. Go.
can you pause it? I need to process this.
So what, is he going to get rid of the dog? What's going on?
Fuck off.
Can I get that dog?
Give that Mogwai to a Mogwai-less child.
Yeah, right.
Or put that dog down. That's the ultimatum.
Those are your choices.
What a dumb thing to talk about. And then, again, where they just crack up over shit that's not funny at all.
Getting him wet will cause him to breed. And
Yeah, asexually, which cool.
yeah, he's an ace icon.
Yeah. Oh my god. Ah! Oh my gosh.
Hey, Tab, did you know that Gizmo is a queer icon?
I didn't know that until just now.
Yeah, well, I mean, breeds asexually, which is, by the way, not the definition of asexual in this community. They're not breeders, those asexuals, right? it's not like in the LGBTQ plus A apostrophe. It's not like in that alphabet world, the asexuals are the ones having all the kids. So I don't even understand what the point of that is, but they were so excited about it. Oh. In fact, let's hear that reaction.
The
again.
scream laughing.
Yeah, let's hear that again. That's insane.
Oh my god. Ah! Oh my gosh.
This is why we called them gay all those years ago. This guy's way too fucking happy.
I don't know. I think he's just fighting for any reaction with his friend here.
Yeah, it's not entertaining what they're talking about, so they really have to level it up and make it seem like what they're saying is so interesting.
Who do you think the audience for this show is? Like, who is listening to this and just like, yeah, why did they want to replace the dog in Gremlins?
Okay.
Gizmo is a queer icon.
I have an answer for that. And it's because of the description talking about how it's a Peabody Award-winning nonprofit. A lot of these podcasts that nobody listens to are listened to by left-wing media outlets and award show. They're always winning awards, these shows that nobody listens to. Mm-hmm. They're like, thank goodness we have this show that talks about how Gremlins is about the patriarchy and no one should ever watch it because the women don't have conversations with each other that don't involve men for more than 5 minutes. So you can't watch this movie ever again. And then there's a room full of people applauding. This is a good podcast. This is really great. Should we do this grift? Should we start a podcast that just talks about how society sucks? Who wants to be the gay one
right now?
All right. So apparently Gizmo is really into pop culture. And so they have some questions to ask about this.
Because Gizmo is obsessed with pop culture as well.
Yeah.
So when they reproduce, do they have Gizmo's knowledge of pop culture?
Oh, that's interesting.
So, I mean, what's the interesting part?
So first off, there is no answer to that question. The writers of Gremlins didn't sit back and go, okay, hypothetical guys. When the Gremlins do procreate, whatever. You're looking into it way too much on this. It's just a fucking movie. That's the other thing they do on this, and we'll get to that in a minute, is where they try to figure out like what the character is thinking or what the character would do. It's like, there is no character thinking character would do.
Consume the movie as is at face value.
I don't know if Gizmo is actually that into pop culture or he's just lived his entire life in a cage in a basement in Chinatown and he's seeing a picture on TV for the first time.
Yeah, and there's a fucking Barbie car and he fits in it. So he's like, sweet.
Yeah.
Take this thing for a spin.
It's a nice life.
Yeah, I don't blame him.
These movies were not meant to be like analyzed for 40 years. You're meant to watch them for 90 minutes and go, man, that was a good time. You want to go get dinner now and then kind of forget about it?
Right. It's a popcorn flick.
Yeah.
Right. So the idea they're trying to figure out what the characters would say in this situation and what their motivation is nonsense. The characters have only ever said the words that you heard in that movie. That's all that they've ever done. So let's find out. Is this a feminist movie?
But you brought up the central question. Is this a feminist movie? Probably not. But there are three.
Does it pass the Bechdel test?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think any of the female characters talk to each other. But
yeah.
You don't know if it passed the Bechdel test? You have one job on this show. One fucking job.
No, do your research.
How does she not know that? I don't know. I didn't really pay attention. What did you pay attention to?
I was scrolling through Instagram while I was watching the show, and I saw all these cute dresses and things that I bought 400 of. I didn't really love the movie.
Holy shit, Tab, you are onto something. Because I forget, maybe it's my age, maybe it's just because I'm fucking awesome at everything I do. When I focus on something, I focus on something. I forget that I sit next to my wife on the couch who's scrolling through her phone the entire time we're watching a show or a movie. That's what everyone's doing now. No one actually watches anything. They just
and then they turn to you and they go, What is he doing there? Like, well, if you watch the last 10 fucking minutes, maybe you'd have an idea of what's going on. Put down the goddamn phone and watch the rest of the fucking movie.
Has Tab been over here for football? That's what it sounds like.
My favorite example of that is we were watching that Weird Al documentary, and my wife halfway through looks up. She goes, I don't know Weird Al and Madonna dated. Okay, hey, you're done. Get the fuck out of here. All right. Enough about my wife. She's wonderful, people. Let's move on. Let's talk about the action scenes in this movie. Because one of the good things about this movie is that there are women in the action scenes.
But there are like three main action scenes that I feel like are all with female characters.
Absolutely.
And the first is with the mom. Can you talk to me about that?
Oh my gosh.
Can you talk to me about that? Because I didn't actually watch the movie.
I have no idea what it is. I can't imagine anyone asking me any question that I would answer with, oh my gosh.
Let me tell you.
Oh, honey. All right, so what's he going to say? Because he's obviously pumped up to talk about this scene where the mom fights the gremlins.
And she like stabs one of them, and it is like, it's not just a little stab and running away. She like stabs them. And she gets scratched in the face. Like, she's a warrior, this woman.
It's not a real person. I'm sorry to break the news to you, but the mom wouldn't actually react like this in this way. That's why it's a movie.
Yeah, it wasn't improv.
I mean, so far he does have more details than what she got from Wikipedia.
Well, yeah, anyone, someone who hasn't watched the movie would know more about it than Kat does.
I've seen it one time 5 years ago. I know more about what's going on in Gremlins than either one of these two people.
Yeah, and they talk about how she's a warrior for fighting off the Gremlins. Like, she got determined. Well, she's screaming through the first part of that scene.
Yeah.
Screaming her head off, and then gets a fight or flight response and has to fight off Gremlins.
Yeah, she just kind of accidentally starts killing them.
I don't think that was her touch.
They're actually pretty easy to kill. They like jump into blenders and shit. So it works. You just gotta hit a button. They're kind of dumb. Works out well. So then they're talking about, and famously, there's this crazy scene in Gremlins where the teenage chick talks about her dad dying in the chimney because he wanted to. I mean, it's the dumbest thing you've ever heard. I don't know how that made it into the script, but it's memorable. Everyone talks about it. It's like the craziest dialogue you've ever heard. And so they explain, they're like, why would they use that as the reason why she hates Christmas? There's so many other reasons. And let's hear what those reasons could be.
There's tons of reasons why people don't like Christmas. You know what I mean? Consumerist holiday, et cetera, et cetera.
Whoa.
Et cetera. Are you fucking kidding me, my friend? I could list off 100 reasons why you should hate Christmas.
Yeah,
the reason why she hates Christmas for this reason is because it's in the fucking script and they need the big reveal of the Gremlins coming out of the fucking chimney. That's why she hates Christmas, for that reason. You fucking moron.
I like that he goes consumerism, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
And the rest.
You can't list one thing and then expect us to connect what the other things are in our minds. You got to give me a pattern to go by or something.
Consumerism, the high suicide rate, terrible things happen to your family members you got to deal with and think about for the next couple of years, religion, et cetera, et cetera.
Et cetera, et cetera.
There you go.
Much better.
Now I'm understanding why I hate Christmas so much. I appreciate it, Tam.
The fucking music. Ugh.
So they're also not understanding the genre of the movie Gremlins. Now, Gremlins is a lot of different things. One of those things is a comedy. And they don't understand that.
So, those gremlins show up. They throw her out the window. It's insane.
Yeah. Well, they carol first. They show up and they're caroling to her, which I'm like, so you're not all bad, are you? Or what's the deal? What's going on here?
It's a joke. It's funny that the gremlins are caroling. You know, they're like dressed up and shit. It's a joke, buddy. You don't get that?
It's a little twist there.
Yeah, it's fun.
Haha, gotcha, bitch. God.
So stupid. So
he's just genuinely confused by it. Like, that's a weird thing for a murderous creature to do.
Yeah. Like, sometimes Freddy Krueger has a quip that's kind of fun. It's like, yeah, but this guy like is out for revenge. Like, why is he having fun with that? It's like, no, it's part of the movie. It's a joke. All right. This is the last clip I have on here, and then I want to hear more about the episode that you listened to, Tab, if there's anything worth talking about. But this is another example of look it up, dummy, because she's the one bringing this up and not knowing the information.
Did this come out before? This must have come out after Muppet Christmas Carol, but I feel like those scenes.
Wait, maybe you're right. Hold on, let me find out real quick.
Yeah.
Let me get the research team behind it. Let's do this.
No, fact checking.
The Muppet Christmas Carol came out 8 years after Gremlins, 84 to 92. She goes, well, this must have come out after that. I mean,
why? Based on what?
Yeah. You know what? I don't even know what she was talking about there. You listened to this episode.
Yeah.
What was she even referring to there? I have no idea. She never finished that thought.
This movie came out after the other one.
It must have.
Fucking patriarchy.
Point. Well, there's puppets and it's Christmas time. I think that's how she connected it in her head.
Yeah.
It's Christmas time. So it's the same movie.
One ripped off the other.
Okay, they were Christmas caroling. Okay.
So this
We're
new Muppet
connecting the
movie,
dots
it's
here.
based on Gremlins.
She thought it was a sequel.
Fucking stupid.
Who are these podcasts?